Hello and welcome to this week's episode, episode 4 of A Chef at Large. This week we're going to look at aging meat and at cooking steak. One of the best pieces of beef for aging is a ribeye because it has the fat cap which you can trim later. Now, aging beef is not difficult. We're going to take a couple kilos, you can go more but not really less, and loosely wrap it in a clean white linen cloth. Once it's wrapped, we'll put it in the fridge. The bottom back of the fridge is the coolest place, and we really want somewhere with a nice, cool, stable temperature like that. And we'll put it on a wire rack so that air can circulate all through it while it remains wrapped. You want to change this wrap every day, taking it out quickly, rewrapping it in a clean wrap, and then putting it back as quickly as possible. Good fresh beef from a supermarket can take weeks of aging. The beef we're going to cook later in this episode was aged for 20 days, and that's about how long I age all my beef at home in exactly this fashion. You can see that after 20 days, the outside has formed a solid crust, and inside has just become so tender from the enzymatic action of aging. And also the flavor has concentrated because some of the water has evaporated. Once it's reached the desired time, we're going to trim it, trim off the ends, cut steaks, and then trim the steaks. And you can see that there's a luscious, deep ruby red color to it now instead of that pinkish red of a fresh piece. Once you've trimmed off all the outside crusty parts, your steak is either ready to cook, you can just season it and cook it, or you can actually store it in the fridge in a bag, wet aged for a few more days, or in the freezer for quite some time, just like a regular steak. It will stop the processes. Cooking steak for a prolonged period at high heat, such as in a broiler or a barbecue, tends to dry out much of the steak and give it a mealy texture. I like to use a blowtorch or a really hot cast iron pan to quickly sear the meat, and in either case the next best step is to go right into a low oven for 20 to 30 minutes so it can finish slowly. This will keep your meat from drying out too much and give you a nice even texture throughout. If you like to barbecue, you can get the same effect by mounting the coals to one side, first cooking the steak over the hot coals and then moving it to the edge away from the coals to slowly roast. In any case, the trick is to go from a real high heat searing to a nice mellow heat. Now, I know a lot of people have a hard time determining when their steak is done to the temperature they want. And really, the absolute best way to do this is with a thermometer. If you want to do like the chefs do, you can use the finger poke method. If you touch your finger to the base of your palm, you'll notice that this is what it feels like at a rare steak. Medium rare, medium, medium well, well done. As you can see, the steak on the left was cooked this method, and it has a nice gentle sear all the way around the edge and a very evenly cooked inside. Whereas the steak that was cooked only in the pan shows a much thicker area of dried out meat and then a much thinner area of evenly cooked steak. Once the steaks are done cooking, you can let them rest for just a few minutes. They don't rest as long as a roast. Then you can serve them, usually with a potato and maybe a vegetable and some sort of saucy side. In this picture I have creamed spinach. In this one I have oven roasted mushrooms and onions. In this one I've done rosemary roast baby potatoes. And in this one I have just a fresh porcini mushroom from China that's been stewed down in Marsala wine. However you serve it, try to make sure that everything you serve it with only enhances the beefy flavor of the steak. Don't try to cover that wonderful flavor up. And there you have it. How to age steak, wonderful ways to cook steak, all in just a few minutes. Music and information and show notes can again be found on my blog. Thanks for watching and enjoy your meal.